So this is my room, right? And I have all these things on the walls. You can see this wall's partially actually, I've taken some down. One of them fell down the other day. Turn that down a bit. And I wasn't really planning on this, but as you can see here, this is the edge of my bed. I just took down some of these, and I decided, like, as I was doing this is a kind of major thing I'm doing for me. So I thought I would kind of document that I'm just kind of moving on. I'm not going to document the whole thing, obviously, but I'm moving on from this because, you know, I'm living in this room for over 3 years or something. You know, it's just like my entire world is just this. And, you know, the sun is coming, 2021, you know, like during COVID. I mean, this is on my wall. Yeah, it's something I made, and it's, you know, it's okay, but like, it's kind of like, you know, I look at this every day. You know, every morning I wake up, it's like the first thing I see is this wall because I'm sleeping facing it. This is from 2021, you know, this is the COVID days. So I'm gonna tear down the wall, kind of like, you know, like like Pink, right? Except I'm not gonna become a fascist. And just maybe take a line from my own song Black Nail from way back in 2016. Change your life, and life is change, and it's time for me to move on. Good evening, happy holidays. Marc Lowe in Tokyo, and yeah, so I just have a few things to say. I'll keep it short. The past, I guess, 4 days, I've been cleaning and redecorating kind of more simply my room. I took down on this wall that I'm facing all kinds of things and kind of simplified it. And I moved my bed and I moved things around, and this tiny room now feels a lot more spacious and comfortable. So all of that is, you know, it's like utilizing the space, and I threw a bunch of things out. I sold some things I didn't need, you know, used, just got rid of them. I did that earlier this year. I got rid of CDs and some books, but this time it's like some kitchen appliances and actually some old guitar pedals and a case. I never really use it, don't use them anymore, and I've kind of also simplified and streamlined and changed my live setup, which will change again, or it may change from show to show. The last show I played with Akira Naito as Shunyata, which we decided to continue as a duo from time to time. Very easygoing. To do that project again, where I prepare the backing tracks and, you know, kind of improvise. He improvises guitar, and I improv on various instruments or electronic gadgets, depending, you know. Next time maybe I'll bring a full keyboard. The last time I had a mini keyboard on my computer, MIDI. We'll see. So I've been spending the holidays alone, which I was alone last year and I was alone the year before. So I'm quite used to that now. And I'm not lonely. That's the strange, or not so strange to me thing, but to some people might sound strange. I was invited to a Christmas dinner and I actually turned it down. Not to be rude, actually. I felt apologetic in a way, but I had so many things I wanted to do, cleaning and organizing. And then I taught a private lesson that day, and then I taught a private lesson on Christmas day or evening, just for an hour. But I was just constantly, cleaning and arranging. And actually, I'm not done yet. I still have a few things out of place, if you will, that will be organized. Tonight I took a walk. I actually didn't intend to walk for so long. I was holding kitchen appliances, things that I was planning on selling, and also the pedals in my case that I also sold. And actually the heavy things were the kitchen appliances in this big bag. And it was cold out, and it was getting dark because I was cleaning until fairly late and organizing, throwing things, doing this, that, the other. And but I thought I'll make it on time. They close at 7, or rather I had to be there by 7 for them to check the items, last call. So I thought I would be there by 5:30. According to the time I left, it was a lot farther than I thought. I should have taken a bus, not a train, or a train to the station, then from the station a bus. That would have taken me there in 10 minutes maybe, which I did on the way back, obviously. But so I was walking and walking. The cool part was that it's the full moon. It's the solstice, winter solstice, and this is the last full moon of this year, and it's a special one because it's the winter solstice, and it's amazing. And I took a video, which I'll edit into this to show. And actually, if you go and look at the introduction to the 4 parts of last year's 2022's documentary, which I entitled Evolution or Evolution, it's a video of the moon with the clouds moving. And I guess I took that right around the same time last year. It was at the end of the year. It looks very similar to what I took tonight, in front of my apartment actually. But when I was walking to the place with my stuff on the highway, alongside the highway, basically, I was accompanied by the moon, and I got also a couple photos and a short video of that. Last year, in addition to the Evolution documentary in 4 parts, which was talking about some recent things I'd been working on at the time, 1123 and some other things, the world was not the same. Last year I had made so much material, the most since prior to the pandemic when I was in Fukuoka. In 2021 I did the tetralogy and a couple other things, but last year, 2022, I was very prolific really. And I was excited and proud in a sense, personal pride, kind of just good feeling. So I made a series of, I don't remember if it was 6 or even 7, 5 or 6 or 7 compilations called Evolution, which I was combining tracks from different things I had done last year. This year I said on SNS, I'm not going to do it. I made a double CD-length thing for myself called Private Collection. That's it. I'm done. Well, I lied again. Like David Bowie, who's always lying about things, going back on his word. Oh, we're going to do a trilogy starting with Outside till the end of the 20th century. And then the next album's Earthling. And then the next album is Hours, and they never finished it. That kind of thing, right? So, or I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, whatever. I do the same thing. I say it and then I go back on my word. So, but the reason is, and it's not the same as last year's Evolution, which was just compiled tracks. I did a glass sun, what I called a glass sun earlier this year, where I took a variety of older tracks that I had all these tracks left over that I wanted to somehow do something with, publish them, get them out somehow. But there were too many to kind of make, multiple compilations. I had already kind of done a bunch of those in 2022, actually. I didn't want to do more and more and more compilations. I released a few, 2 or 3, something at the beginning of this year of older material and the end of last year. So I combined them into 3 long sound collages or bricolages. I'm calling bricolage this year for what I'm about to say. So I like the way that turned out because I did it as a DJ would, where there's fade-ins and fade-outs. Some things are excerpts, but again, they fade or they... In some cases, I layered tracks one on top of the other and did something with the mixes. And I played around like that, and there are also full tracks on there, but one flows into the next, like listening to a long DJ broadcast or something with no commercials kind of thing. So for my recent show, I had done, just backing tracks, and they when I played them back, like without any of the live music, and I shared them with Akira Naito, who played guitar for me, he said, just listening to what you prepared as the backing, I really like this as it is, and I did too. And I was sort of thinking, I'm gonna take my most recent ambient work, because I've done a lot of tracks that are very ambient flavored, if you will, and just do something like that, like one flowing into the next, and just have like a long 40, 50, 60 minute ambient thing with recent material. But then I started thinking, well, how about if I put this in and that in, some other recent things, and it became a sound collage. And then I did two more. I decided to do three, emphasizing my new material and material I hadn't released. And then after that, I thought, well, maybe I'm going to do a sound collage with some earlier things from this year. And it kept going like this. So it ended up kind of like evolution, right? I made the first sound collage focus on the most recent material, and that I uploaded last night. One, which I just uploaded tonight. It's the 27th of December as I film this. They're all finished, of course. Now, that was going back just a bit further to my trilogy of albums, Solitude, Faded Out of Sight, Phantoms. And I added in some of the collaborative live things, like with Akira Naito, Shinyata, just a short piece of that, and a short piece, or a 10-minute piece actually, of collaboration live with Kata Kamui. I had actually used his backing stuff on some of my tracks this year as a featuring, but this was actually our live performance together, which we only did one, but that was, so it's the first section of that, which again with fades, and I ended it with the Sunny Yasuda track that it's from 2019 actually, but this past year I kind of remixed and rearranged it. Apart from that, it's the trilogy, and the trilogy has some kind of piano solo things on it, and some electronic things with beats, and some covers, the Sakamoto Ryuichi tribute cover, Solitude, and How to Destroy Angels, which it's actually a remix of my cover, the original cover versions on this Dark Shroud album, and then a Cave, Push the Sky, my version. I was riding, and I saw the sun. I saw the sun again. You know, I had this feeling, just couldn't shake. The third part, which I'll upload tomorrow night, and I'm doing one every night like I did last year with Evolution, until the 31st will be the last one. So the third part, which will be tomorrow night, the 28th of November. Sorry, not November. What am I saying? December. That will be focused on earlier this year. 2 trilogies. This was the year of trilogies for some reasons. Actually, the first I called Triad, which was my birthday, my 50th birthday coming up. I released those on my birthday and the following 2 days. So that's 022623, which is my birthday, 2023, which is a lot of acoustic songs from my past band days rearranged, and some electronic things, but I didn't include those on the mix. The second is Without Beginning or End, which is a double length album, which was more sort of ambient, some beats and collages. Again, this year I started doing a lot more with collages or bricolages. So there were actually bricolages on the album. So I share some of those tracks. Some of them are instrumental or partly instrumental, mostly instrumental. And Abstract Abstractions was the third, and I have a segment of 1 or 2 things from that. And then the second trilogy after that I completed was what I call the Human trilogy, or the To Be Human, because the first album's To Be Human. The second was Humachinations, which was originally going to be just remixes of another piece I did called Man and Machine, which appears on the third part, Beyond the Body. So those 3, and there are actually 2 separate excerpts of Man and Machine, which I split. That's a very long piece, and it's not the whole thing on here. Just sections of those interspersed with the other pieces. So those 2 trilogies are the main. And I think there's maybe 1 track, I think Chaos from Red Signals is on there. The Sunny piece is also from Red Signals. Red Signals is the One Out album. It was actually a companion to This Dark Shroud album, because I used alternate versions on the This Dark Shroud third part, which brings me to the next. The next was going to be This Dark Shroud. I'm thinking possibly night number 4 is going to be my acoustic material, which is a combination of sources, both studio, some from 022623, the recent version of People that I did a video for.
It was a time that you couldn't figure them out. You couldn't figure yourself out, boy.
Live material, both live at home, which I recorded at home and released in some way, like the In My Room series, the second one from 2023 this year. Some pieces from that, and some from various live shows I've done this year, including one in Fukuoka in March. It's one piece from that, which has backing electronic tracks on it, but mostly it's acoustic. So that's 4. 5 is then This Dark Shroud, the trilogy, Vanity. Again, year of trilogies. Vanity, second is 9, which is 9 tracks, has Black Nail, Files in the Bathroom, Fleshy Air, stuff like that. Third is The Signs Were There. It also includes a couple of live clips, one of me solo piano, Non-Entity, one with Joe on the dials in the bathroom, Joe Shotaro, who joined me, both from Fukuoka, Yutero, and one from Neppo in Kichijoji here in Tokyo, and that's excerpted and blended with something else from The Signs Were There.
What in the name of God did you think you were doing?
And also new mix of Vanity, which is coming out on the 31st of December, actually. That's another thing to mention. The 31st, I have two live things. One is Marc, Lowe, and one is This Dark Shroud coming out. This Dark Shroud is live and B-side kind of things. And one of the B-sides is the remix of Vanity called Vanity's Sister. So that's also included in the This Dark Shroud Bricolage. That's number 5, right? That's the 30th. And the 31st, finally, Bowie tributes. And this year I have actually on January 8th, his birthday, a full-length 10-track Bowie tribute coming out. The Bricolage includes some of those pieces. Some of them I had videos recently. Warzawa 2024, Loving the Alien, those two recent videos.
Watching as they come and go, the Templars and the Saracens, oh, they're traveling the Holy Land. Burning telegrams.
There's also an original piece called We Miss You, Space Boy, and actually that's the title of the tribute album that'll come out, which is a new version of a song I wrote for him electronic song in 2017, and ends with Immortal, me playing at home on my classical guitar. I have a video I put up on that. So the soundtrack to that, just that one piece at the end. And in between, it's a bunch of other covers, including a suite, which is not on the Bricolage. And also the some of the outside tribute material.
For we're living in the safety zone, beholding back from me. We're living from hour to hour down here, but we'll take things when we can.
The most recent remix I did using bits of Bowie's vocal on Black Star, and it's a kind of chaotic experimental mix, which includes some other pieces of Bowie's voice and interviews and stuff, and some noise elements and beats and stuff. That's also included in the Bricolage. So that's the 31st, and then ends with my original tribute to him, Immortal, and that's how the year's going to end. Moving into the new year with a positive attitude. I'm mostly spending time alone. I'm not lonely. I just, this is where I'm at, and it's totally fine. It's totally good. And my room is it's like I'm living in a new apartment. It's totally different. Same apartment, much less stuff, much less clutter. Not that it was cluttered before. I kept reducing, but now even the walls, it's too much. So maybe I'll just show, because I did it before and after. Or rather, I haven't done the after. Maybe I'll do an after tonight. I did it before, and haven't shared that yet. But I did it before I tore everything off. I wanted to show, and I can do an after. The room is still a bit not quite finished, but I could certainly do an after of the walls, if not the full room. I don't need to do the full room anyway. So, just to show the change in my room, this is actually Sakamoto's async or async. And then here you could see when I was doing my talk, or when I do my talk behind me, this is the wall that used to have all those Bowie and all that. My clothes, I have some clothes here. It's a small room. Here's, you see it moved here, Sakamoto and Bowie, Jeff Buckley, and there's some behind the clothes. I'm probably going to move them. There's a little mirror there. Another Bowie thing here, and then I'm gonna just go kind of up here without filming the floor in the entire room. But it's a small room, but it feels more spacious. This is I did today. It used to say "Be yourself." It's nature and man. That's the Chinese character, or Japanese, Sora or sky. I use that in my name. When I transliterate man, this is a hito, or person down here. Balinesian masks that I've had for years, and this is actually a cutting board that it smelled, because it's wood. When I washed it, I didn't like the smell, so part of my decoration now. And this is Mitsuo. He says happiness is determined by your heart or your mind. In other words, we make our own happiness for ourselves. We determine that for ourselves. This Dark Shroud, the last of the trilogy and the live. This is the live Marc Lowe that's coming out on the 31st. Just some photos from some of the live shows I did. To Be Human, Without Beginning or End. Tipping Point, which is now like incorporated into the 2 new albums that I'll be releasing. And then this is a Bowie thing and tribute. Not the tribute album, but something else. Anyway, I had these 3 CDs I popped up, and this is me and my daughter. So it's not all music anymore. And that's my daughter, and you can see here the next day, Heroes, a little bit design, and that's it. See, all this wall that was covered almost all the way up to the ceiling is now blank. And you come down here and I've got my little corner for my instruments, my guitars, bookshelves, clothes. It's a really small room. I'll maybe film to here. I'm not going to film the whole room. But it's like this, so that's it in my curtains.